Right now, I have a wine that, curiously, you don't have.
Sorry, Jeff,
Oh,
just to
sorry.
be
Go ahead.
complete on Chateau Gauthier, I just want to mention that we also produce a very lovely, what you would call a real rosé, Jeff, because it's a direct press rosé.
A true rosé. It's true rosé.
True rosé, sorry, true rosé.
Right. So in France, that word is the same, right? Vrai. It can be either one. So
Exactly. So it's a Merlot Malbec, but mostly Merlot blend. It's not available in the US for the moment, but maybe one day.
so what's the rosé production and consumption here in the US has really taken off. I know it's always been high in France. Has there been any relative change over the last few years? Has it increased as well? Or because I know that the French love the rosé, particularly.
Absolutely. It seems this year, but because everything's been so strange this year, the consumption has plateaued a bit. But that again, it's because it's been such a strange year, and overall, otherwise until last year, the rosé has continued to grow and grow and grow and grow. Absolutely, yes.
And speaking of this difficult year, I imagine from your position, which is you're the chief export officer, is that right? I always get your title wrong. I mean,
chief export. I love that. I should.
yeah, you should get a raise just for that title.
Absolutely. I will send this video to my boss. Thanks, Jeff.
Well, I expect about 5 to 10% of your increase.
Okay.
But it must be really difficult to make projections for next year because this year is such a weird year. How are you approaching that in the Richard family in general, and maybe at Chateau Lannert specifically?
It's very, very, very difficult. Obviously, all the projections we had made back before, so in the early part of the year, are meaningless. But even today, when I read projections about the airline industry will recover by 2025 or maybe 2027. So, how am I capable of doing projections for next month? I can't.
Right.
I mean, I of course we do. We have to do. We talk, through means like this one. We talk to all our clients, and we help them to adapt to the situation. We give them new tools. We give them all the support we can, but it's very, very difficult because every market is different. Fortunately, particularly for Chateau Lannert, we are distributed now in almost 45 countries, so it's well spread, and many of our clients that were primarily focused on restaurant business have managed to adapt and attract business outside of pure restaurants. So they're being online or be it directly to private clients. So it's the new norm is what I don't know if it's by next year, but yeah, it's difficult to make projections. That's for sure.
All right. Yeah. So I mean, it's September the 8th, and I have not been on a plane this year, and
Yeah.
so. And by this time last year, I would have been, I don't know, to 12 different countries, and
Sure.
So it's strange, and it's people don't think about, I mean, it's not just in your own life, but in the way that imports are going to come in or not come in, or I imagine you have a normal size crop, or plus or minus, and you think, can we sell all these bottles of wine?
Yeah.
That's got to be a difficult calculation to try to make.
For sure. But I was just reading the other day an article about what's happening in parts of Spain where they know that they know before harvesting that they will distill most of their production. I mean, this is so sad. At least we're not in that situation, which we're blessed to have the Domaine Richard. We have a good portfolio of all the estates are very, very historic, very significant properties for their respective appellations, and we have a good distribution network. But otherwise, it'd be very, very, very difficult.
Yeah, I can imagine if you're just like a small producer in Burgundy, or you own a couple hectares at most in Alsace, and you make one, maybe two wines, and that's it. And if that either if you're selling it off to a negociant or you're selling it, maybe you're working at a co-op, and the
Yeah,
product they just don't have a market for the wines. I mean, that's going to be a really tough position for a lot of people, I would
that's
imagine.
right. That's right.